that's alright. That's alright. Well, that's alright now, mama, any way you do. Mama's done, she done told me. Papa, he done told me too. Girl, them boys you dealing with, they ain't no boys for you. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama, any way you do. I guess that's alright, mama. I guess a little. I'm not a guitar player. I'm a friggin' bass player, for crying out Pete. Oh, I gotta make sure that gets back in the right direction. I don't want to drop any of my guitars. Heaven for fucking bid. That's one of my worst fears in the world. Other than dropping my children is dropping my guitars. Oh, for fuck's sakes, it scares the shit out of me. That's all right, mama. Well, welcome to another week with your favorite mama. Welcome to another week of the 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast with me, your host and favorite mama, Tanya Candler. I'm here back for another week with you, and that's all right, mama, or is it? Is it all right, mama? I'm not sure if it's all right. How are you? How are you doing? How has your week been? It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. We're growing inside, and when I wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. There's going to be lots of singing on this show. Is it a good feeling to know that you're growing and changing inside? I've been watching a lot of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood stuff with my kids, so I'll be back when the day is through, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. And this is the part where he usually zips and unzips his sweater, but I'm in an Elvis jumpsuit right now with like underwear underneath it, so I'm not unzipping shit. If you want that shit, you can pay for it on OnlyFans, which I do not have. Oh, so silly. Oh my God. But like I say, everything's been growing and changing. It's such a good feeling to know that you are growing and changing. There was a new moon going on this weekend. On Saturday night, we had the new moon. I didn't see it because there was a lot of cloud cover, but I did make moon water. People ask me what this fucking moon water stuff is all the time, and I've been neglectful in telling people what moon water is. Moon water is just like kind of like taking water outside in containers that you own. Usually I just use glass jars that I have. And I know a lot of people that do this. They might put flowers in it, they might put herbs in it, but they might put nothing in it. Put your intentions and your feelings into it if you're a hippie like me. And set it on the moon by the light of the silvery moon. The moon water, and then you drink it. That's what moon water is. It's not anything special or weird. Like, it's just moon water. So that's what moon water is. And like I say, I was trying to be out moon gazing at the new moon, but there was nothing to gaze at. So that was a bummer that I didn't get to see that. But, I got an Elvis kind of themed drink here because I'm going to be talking about Elvis today on the podcast. Oh, I want to talk about Elvis with you. I got like I don't know what they're called, probably a Virgin Mary. It's like a Shirley Temple with no booze. It's like pineapple juice and like grenadine and like orange juice and like club soda and like maraschino cherries. There's like no umbrellas and I don't want to use like a plastic straw because I would like kill a turtle and a fish and hurt the water and all the little water animals. I don't want to do that. I want to be nice to animals. I live a cruelty-free kind of diet. So we know that. Anyways, like I say, I was doing some meditation, a lot of meditation this week, even some meditation in a fucking graveyard, for fuck's sakes. You go pay your respects sometimes, and then sometimes you go pay your respects when you're at the cemetery, and you really get reflective, and you want to really take things inward, and you think, and you get contemplative, and sometimes there's places you go to think. Is there a place you go to think? Or a place where you just go to be reflective, where you just go to just really let your thoughts just kind of go where they want to go. You just go there by yourself and you just kind of have some quiet reflective thought and some mindfulness. Is there a place you go to do that? Is there a special place you go? I bet there is. One of mine's the cemetery, because I mean, visiting loved ones and paying respects and stuff. And then like I say, getting lost in oneself, thinking about things when you go to the cemetery is, crazy. You get to think about mortality and all that stuff comes at you, but other things too. Definitely, I was in the cemetery looking for some inspiration on some things that I'll be releasing that I'll be talking about later. But definitely, what can I say? It was weird. I was meditating a lot on change, because I was meditating on the fact that a lot of people, and including me in the past, past Tanya did not like change. Present Tanya, she loved the change. She don't give a shit. Like, I think the change is good, and change is hard, but change is super good. Like, I won't ever say the change is easy. That is not something that you'll hear me say. You will hear me say the truth 150% of the time, but I will never say the change is easy. Holy smokes. Change is hard. Like I say, I should know, but change is good. And if we're not growing and we're not changing, and we're not challenging ourselves, why aren't we doing that? Why don't we like change? Is it because of the biggest thing? And I'm going to say the F word. Is it fear? Is it fear? Is that the root there? Is it fear? Are you lonesome tonight? Are you fearful tonight? Are you sorry you didn't follow your heart? Like, seriously, why didn't you follow your heart? Why didn't you follow your dream? Why didn't you follow your brain? Why did you listen to the demons in your mind, or the haters, or the assholes? Everybody told you that you couldn't do it. Why didn't you listen to the heartbeat, man? Listen to that stuff. What's the feel? Like, what's the fear? If it is fear, like I say, what's the fear of? Is it the fear of a challenge? Is it the fear of failure, potential failure? Is it the fear of the mudslinging you might get from others? Is it fear of like backlash? Is it, fear of folding and having to start again? Like, what can I say? Is it fear of, like, fear though, to me, I feel like it's one of those boundaries that we set for ourselves that's too much of a boundary. There are healthy fears, and I think unhealthy fears. And I think when we set ourselves up with that many boundaries, especially in an unhealthy way, this shows, and I've talked about it before, it just shows a lack of liquidity and a lack of fluidity in ourselves to change and grow and develop into something better, into something bigger, into something whatever, into something that you want to be more, into more of the self that you achieved, you're gunning to be. So I think that's kind of like a thing, you got to show that willingness to grow. Like Bruce Lee said, you got to be like water, man. Be adaptable. Be adaptable. Go with the flow. Be like water. So, like this. My rule, and I'm reading this for real, like, because I wrote this down, like, this is my rule with fear, and I read it a lot. My rule with fear is, if fear doesn't really exist if you don't let it. You don't got to give fear permission to exist. Like, you don't have to. Fear doesn't really exist if you don't let fear exist. Anything or anyone can achieve, like, absolute profound control over you and your mind if you let them. Fear is one of those things like that too. You can let those mind demons get in, and you can let them control you if you want, if you let them. But if you don't let that stuff in, you don't let those people in, you don't let that toxicity in, you can do anything you want. Fear doesn't exist if you don't want it to. It doesn't have to. You don't have to be scared all the time. What a way to live. What a way to live. Not a way to live. Oh my God. And talking about fear, as I sit here in this jumpsuit and control and weird stuff like that. Oh, what happened with Baz Luhrmann? I saw the Elvis movie. Now I had to watch it twice. I had a good friend who told me that he watched it twice also. Oh my God, what a banger. That Elvis movie with Baz Luhrmann, or by Baz Luhrmann. He obviously did it. But I mean, Austin Butler and Tom Hanks were freaking magical in Elvis. Absolutely. Even down to the actress who had Priscilla Presley like played and everything like that, to the people that played Vernon and Gladys Presley, Elvis Presley's parents, obviously, the guy who was playing Sam Phillips down at Sun Records. Like, everything was really historically accurate. The Memphis Mafia, Elvis's Mafia, his own set of bodyguards that would do anything Elvis said. They would fucking listen to him. Elvis was like the Don. He was like the fucking... Elvis was the boss of the mafia, and he would say, hey, Red, I want you to go and kill this guy. Hey, Sonny, I want you to go and punch this guy in the face. They would just do whatever Elvis said. And Elvis had some pretty wild ideas at some times. He got in for some pretty crazy ass drugs, and like Austin Butler and Tom Hanks in this movie, I can't say enough about it. If you haven't gone out and seen it or bought it at home or got the Elvis movie or had any experience with the Elvis movie, oh my gosh, even if you don't like Elvis, see that film. It's so good. It's a great mix of like Elvis stuff and then modern day pop culture, as Baz Luhrmann is always famous for. How does he always do that? He finds that magic mix. He finds how to mix the perfect potion together. The perfect blend. We'll use that term. Definitely perfect blend. But in that movie, they talked about showmen and snowmen. Every showman needs a snowman. That's what Tom Hanks, Colonel Tom Parker, kept saying to Elvis. I mean, Colonel Tom Parker, I got beef with that guy, man. I don't think Colonel Tom Parker was a good guy. I think Colonel Tom Parker, like, inevitably led up to Elvis's untimely death, with a lot of other things too. But the abuse, the blackmail, the gaslighting, that I'm going to be into your life, I'm going to be out of your life, I'm going to be in your life again, I'm going to be out of your life. If you do this, I'm your dad now. I'm like, holy shit. No wonder that boy was so fucking mixed up. He didn't know what he was doing. That guy was mentally abusing him and then working him like crazy, like, 19, 20-hour days, like, and then having him be injected with medications and drugs and stuff. And I mean, Elvis had his fair share of drugs. And I'm going to say right now, thank you, pharmacology degree. If you've read anything of the books about Dr. Nick Nichopoulos and the drugs he supplied Elvis Presley with over the years, it's absolutely astonishing. Like uppers, downers, barbiturates, like methamphetamines, cocaine. They used to... And I'm talking, and I really gotta, I gotta reel this in. They used to, a long time ago, they used to have cocaine, and they still have it in the hospitals, in big bottles, and it's liquid. And it's for people who are having really bad asthmatic and breathing episodes. But Elvis, back in the day, used to get some prescribed to him for energy, I guess. And he used to get the liquid cocaine put up his nose with like cotton swabs, and they used to wake him up. But I mean, they used to inject him with methamphetamines, like speed. I'm talking speed. So if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, uppers and downers and things like that, things to go to sleep, things to wake up, things to get up out of bed. He was like taking laxatives to go to the bathroom because he was taking painkillers, because all that stuff and all that performing and all that stuff they can do to your body on stage was fucking killing him. I mean, the guy died at 42 fucking years old. The colonel killed him. Definitely killed him. Plus all those drugs. Thank you, pharmacology degree. I'm glad I took pharmacology when I was in school, because it gave me a further understanding of all the the weirdness that can go on in the world and how you can get really mixed up with some bad shit. And Elvis did. All the lines and all the stuff in the movie and the concerts got me thinking back to playing shows and being a bit wild myself back in the day, and being a bit absolutely theatrical, because obviously I am a bit of a theatrical person. I'm sitting here in a fucking Elvis suit talking to you. I'm a bit of a theatrical gal. Everyone knows this. These are my new reading glasses. I hope you like them. They're tinted. They work really good. My most theatrical show, someone had asked me a long time ago, and I can't even believe that I forgot this question, but I'm like, oh, it would pertain to this show now. So I was like, what was my most theatrical show? The most theatrical shows that I used to play with were in a band that I was in called Candy Darlings. And we used to play with this one band called Candy Ass a lot, and we used to play with this band called the Toilet Boys at good old Call the Office in London, Ontario. Hey, we hung out at Call the Office. We played at Call the Office. Call the Office was life for a very long time. Call the Office was the spot to go. Call the Office was it. It was the spot to play. It was before all this pay-to-play shit happened all that stuff. It was back in the day when you used to get paid at venues to be an artist. It was cool. But like I say, most theatrical shows were at these shows with this band, the Toilet Boys. They used to breathe fire inside, and they just used to like just big plumes of fire. It was just absolutely astonishing. Something really theatrical to see. We were really theatrical, like in the Candy Darlings. There's been other bands that I've been in that I've been really theatrical in. Like Candy Darlings is probably the only band that I didn't play bass in. Every other band that I've been in, I've rocked the bass. I've slapped the bass, man. I've been slapping that bass. If you've seen I Love You, Man, you know what I'm talking about. Slap the bass, Paul Rudd. So I have slapped the bass in pretty much every other band that I've played. But you know, a lot of years and a lot of bass. That's a couple of bands under the belt. I don't have that many bands under the belt, but I've got a few bands under the belt. My favorite band to play in, someone asked me also that, what was your favorite band to play in of all the bands you've ever played in? And sometimes it's been like jam bands, just jamming with friends, like in the garages or living rooms or wherever. We're just dinking around a campfire. But like my most fun band was like the Candy Darlings, because Candy Darlings was a fun power pop punk band, you know, female driven sort of thing to play with. And if I never would have picked up a guitar, I never would have gotten into that band. It never would have been fun. We played so many fun shows. I remember we played one fun show with a band called the Planet Smashers, and I remember them having the best weed I ever had in my life. They gave it to me. They were like, hey, we can't go past the border. We have to go across the border, and we can't take this with us. Here, take this. And I'm like, what is it? I open it up. It's weed. And I'm just like 19, 20 years old. I'm like, okay. It was purple. It was purple fucking marijuana. And at this time, I was like, cool. So I took it. I smoked it. I'm not going to lie. It was probably the best pot I ever smoked in my life. I will not be ashamed to say that. What they have done to marijuana, to the marijuana industry, is fucking magical. A lot of people will tell you this. I heard about it on the internet. Someone sent me a reel about it the other day, about they'd done something to pot. They made it so strong that it made people see things or something. It made me laugh. Anyway, it was funny. And then it reminded me that Call the Office and going to Call the Office and playing was always the best because you got to go upstairs. I mean, nobody grabbed the luminol. Nobody wants to see what's on those walls or on that couch or on that weird fridge that used to be up there. But like, you know, anyone who's been to Call the Office upstairs knows that you don't want to put luminol on that couch. You don't know what's been going on that couch. There's been a lot of stuff that happened on that couch. A lot of things been done on the upstairs of Call the Office. Oh my God. I had a lot of questions. I had questions for me pertaining to music and Call the Office. A lot of bands that I played with got their start, like I say, at Call the Office. One of the first shows I ever played with Kitty was at Call the Office, and I got a question about Kitty this week from a few people. Actually, I got a couple DMs and a couple like comments, and it was, are you playing I think it's called are you playing the Heaven and Hell Festival with Kitty? No, I think it's in Mexico. I love Mexico. However, no, I'm not, because I am not currently a part of Kitty at all, but I think they're going to have a really good time. I think that's going to be really, really cool. I got Kitty stuff to tell you about later on. Speaking of Kitty, I was thinking about bass playing like a lot this week. And like I say, bass playing and Kitty make me thought, give me this thought in my head. Lots of bands, lots of bass. That's kind of like the way it went. So I played bass in many bands. But no, I will not be playing bass for Kitty in any time in the foreseeable future that I know of, and I will not be playing the Heaven and Hell Festival, but I hope if you're going, it sounds like a banger ass of a lineup. It sounds fucking awesome. There's going to be Kiss, and I think Judas Priest, and Kitty, and like a whole bunch of the Slipknot, a whole bunch of fucking crazy bands. So if you're in Mexico, you should probably go. Like, that would probably be a good idea. And then when I thought back to Kitty, it was funny because like this week I was meditating on like discouragement, and people were like sending you like negative vibes and negative energy and being haters and all things like that. Anyone being a hater who might have an accent, just being a hater. I thought back to the discouragement, like I say, as we got in Kitty and even Candy Darlings and any of the girl bands that I was in, starting out as girls in a band, girls with guitars. We couldn't do it, being less capable than men, not being able to do all that heavy lifting. You know, you'll be nothing. There was haters, there was naysayers, there was mudslingers, there was, you know, people that we knew that were identified as, male people that were totally misogynistic when it came to us. I think it's because we made their dicks feel probably fucking really small. We made their dicks feel fucking minuscule. And that's the whole thing. That's why I think a lot of guys, get their fucking dander up when there's a girl about to start something and something's about to be going on. It makes their little dinkies feel smaller than they already are. It's already like finding a needle in a fucking haystack. Imagine what would have happened if I would have listened to all those haters that said, hey, don't join Kitty. And imagine if Kitty had listened to all those haters that were like, don't have a mostly female, metal band. There's one male gentleman that's been in Kitty, Jeff, over the years, but it's all been female members since the beginning of time, like when I joined the band. And imagine what would have happened if I hadn't picked up that bass and hadn't played on Spit and hadn't played with Kitty. What the fuck would have happened then? Kitty wouldn't have been what it is now. We wouldn't be where we are now. So that's the thing. You can't listen to your haters. You can't hate us because you ain't us. Like, you know what I mean? You've all seen that movie. You can't hate us because you ain't us. You can't hate us because you ain't us. It's not an anus thing. But honestly, you can't listen to your haters. You got to listen to your heart, and you got to listen to your, the people that believe in you, and you got to listen to your dad. And I will extrapolate for you later on that. I will tell you, because that's why this week, and I'll give you it because there's good news and there's bad news, but I'll give you the good news first. I got so many nice DMs and comments and private messages and things of that nature, and emails, even from company owners and people wanting to be ambassadors and things like that about the business kind of going off, like the grooming business starting. And let me be very clear that I'm starting a grooming company it's started. I've got my domain names and all the shit and the Shopify shit and all the whatever you do and all the fun stuff, all the store stuff, and just the lineup's getting ready to go, and I'm getting ready to just get enough packaging to ship it out to you if you want it. If you don't, cool. Like I say, and it's hard because it's a one-woman show, and I'm guessing that a lot of you small batch people with grooming companies know what I'm talking about. It's hard when you're a one-person show, and in this case, I am a one-woman show. When it comes to things like investors, I am not a one-woman show. Absolutely not. When it comes to things like lawyers and legal and, the things that you need when you're running a successful business, you need certain things behind you and certain things that need to go off without a hitch. So you can run things, on your side of things, on the creative side of things, without a hitch. So it'll be me, it's all small batch things. So it'll all be me making them, but then we've got some lab space and things like that, and things that are tested because, I believe in science, and also I believe in having a cruelty-free product. So our products that are coming from the company, I say our because obviously there are investors that are behind this, and I can't discount those people. And Rob, I gotta say Rob, God bless him. Rob is the best partner ever because he's been testing out the beard oil stuff, in the beard oil lines, and he's worn it. And he wears a lot of beard oil companies, and this is why I feel bad because we buy from a lot of beard oil companies. He's been testing every beard oil out in his beard. He tested this one out lately, and this one is amazing. I'm actually wearing it because this is the hair oil version of it. It smells absolutely insane. I'm not going to give you the profile on it right now, but it's one that'll be released in. We're going to do a lineup of the company's going to release just a lineup of just a regular lineup of scents, and then there's going to be a couple limited releases. I'll talk about that later. But let me say, it's just me. It's just me doing the company. I am the only person behind it, so there's no one else behind it. I mean, I have the people that are supporting me. You're great. There's the haters. It's funny. Now listen to your dad. Listen to your dad. Listen to your dad. I said I would extrapolate on this. What is this? Listen to your dad stuff. My dad and I used to talk about my business sense all the time, when he was alive. And starting this company, we talked about that a little bit before he passed away. Not close to when he passed away, but before a couple years ago. And I was like, I don't know if I should get into this, Dad. And he was like, oh, well, he's like, who knows more about hair than women? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, I know you don't have any hair on your face. And my dad would, I could give him things, and I actually bought him beard oils at certain times. And he loved using Aveeno, certain products in his beard, and different like lotions and baby washes and stuff in his beard. And he had one of the softest beards I've ever felt. So when it came to like beard oils and beard products and stuff like that, my dad was a bit careful when he used things. So he was like, you know, you've always had a keen business sense. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because I don't remember. And he said, like, he proceeded that... You know, he proceeded to kind of say to me, like, why wouldn't you start this business? Like, and I thought about it for like a good, you know, long time. And I thought to myself, I didn't have an answer, like, to give him. Like, there was no good, like, reason why I wouldn't start it. And I couldn't give him a good reason, so I couldn't give him one. So I didn't give him one. And so he was like, he was quick to remind me that I've been a little entrepreneur since I was a little kid. I was always starting a lemonade stand. Or, you know, if the lemonade stand down the street had just lemonade, I'd have lemonade and I'd have cookies. And if we do the bake sale at school, I'd bake like 4 or 5 things where everybody else would just bake 1 or 2. I'd always be like, you know, the kid, the girl guide, you know, head of the line, selling the girl. I was the entrepreneur kid. I was the kid with the get up and go. I never got up and went. You know, I was shoveling driveways and things like that. Through, you know, I had businesses that were small through my teens and 20s and 30s that actually went quite well. And he kind of like reminded me of that, and I kind of forgot, which is funny. It's like my mind went back to Neverland, and I forgot everything that happened. Peter Pan grew up. I forgot. I totally forgot. But I was always inventing a business and crushing it. So you know what, Dad? This one is for you. This grooming company is for you, because my dad had the most, like I say, majestic beard I've ever seen in my life. And if I can, I'll put a picture probably in my stories or in my posts about it. And I've posted about it before, my dad's beard. He just had just the craziest big fucking beard. And it was thick and it was really healthy. It was amazing. My dad was, you know, 10 pounds of beard, like I say. So he was always one of my biggest supporters in doing this too. And like Rob is a huge supporter too. He wears like the beard oil line, like now, like exclusively. And I want him to like, stop. We have to order from other companies. So that's what we'll be doing. And samples are, like I say, will be going out once the company launches and things like that. All to my friends. And I've got a lot of nice DMs, but I've got like a lot of hatey stuff. Not a lot. Like I'd say 90%, 95% like really nice, and then like 5% shitty. I got a little hate. Some from company owners. Oh my God. A few reviewers, not many, and a few reviewers, but like before they reviewed the product, but a few. And a few company owners. I got a real nasty one from a company owner, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm not going to drag them under the bus or throw their name under there, but I got what they're saying to me, and they were saying some pretty nice stuff to me. I'm joking. They were saying some pretty fucked up shit. But you know what? I screenshotted it. So, I mean, I could always put it like on the podcast and you could find out exactly who they are. But I will not throw them under the bus for now. With that in mind, I'm going to give you a hint about something very, 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 very special I'm releasing too. So along with the line that's coming out, that's just like the regular line, I'm releasing two limited release scents, and I think it's going to be great to have 2 limited release scents. And they're going to be really interesting. Now, I'll tell you, it's going to be both of them are going to be in the most goth bottles ever. They'll be in the most gothic bottles ever. And if you ever wanted a part of me in a bottle or me in a bottle, it's my dick in a box. I'm just kidding. It's not. It's me in a bottle. If you wanted it, if you ever thought about it, I'm going to be doing a limited run. Seriously, really a limited run of these. I'm not doing this to just like attract business. I'm only going to do a limited run because I don't know how many people will want it. We'll see. I'm going to do it in probably hair, beard, and scents for like all genders. It'll be like completely up to you, which one you want. I can take things in, put things out, whatever. They can be customized, but generally I'm doing a limited run of this one scent, and it's going to be called Paper Doll. PAPEDAWL, Paper Doll, and it's going to be me in a bottle. What can I say? It was me one time, and we're going to put that in a bottle. So that'll be out, so you'll be able to get that for Christmas if you have any people that love like metal and stuff. I got an artist working on some fun stuff. and some fun drawings of me being silly. And because, I mean, why not put yourself on the bottle? I'm not going to tell you the percent profile right now because it's crazy. But then also I was talking about pines and piney realms and stuff like that. And if you haven't seen Twin Peaks, obviously now's the time to tune in, because now you'll start getting it. You'll start understanding what I mean. I am doing a limited release of Twin Peaks. I'm doing a Twin Peaks limited release scent because, like I say, I'm releasing things, the things that have inspired me, things that I can actually tell stories about, things that I've had experiences with, and things I can literally put my experience and stick it in a bottle. This one literally was an experience in a bottle. It was absolutely awesome. So, like I say, I'm not gonna release what any of the scent profiles are yet. What will they smell like? What will it smell like in there? What will it be like for Twin Peaks? Will it be the piney realm? Will it be the coffee shop? What will it be? I don't know. I'll tell you this right now. I donated some gift card stuff to auctions and things like that. If you do end up being a person who gets a gift card, I encourage you to use it when the company drops, because that's when we're going to have most of the sales going on. You'll have sales and codes and stuff flashing on the top, and I'm sure there'll be people with codes and things like that that you can use. So I'm encouraging you to get more bang for your buck, because we'll actually have things at a lower price when things like open up, and we'll see how that goes. And I just want you to get more bang for your buck, or for whatever you're paying, like for your gift card or whatever. And I want the money to go to charity, so pay like what it's worth and let that money go to the charities that they're donated to. So I'll say that's pretty cool. It'll go that much further. And speaking of further, like I say, the memories that I have and there are inspiring me. The core memories are inspiring me further. Like the memories I had as a child and core memories I had as a teenager are inspiring me further to make all these different products and things like that, and core scents that I have. And one of the ones that I made, the one sitting beside me, is like a core scent as I had a child. Things that were big inspirations to me. Like obviously I love being outdoors, and I love using things that I loved as a child with my kids now for inspiration. My son and I have recently been getting back into, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance on Netflix. When he was like 5 when it came out, and it was like way too graphic, I think, for him to watch. But now he's like 8, and that was like, we were like looking through the parent guides and stuff, and we read that it was more of an appropriate age for him to watch it. And now he's like enamored with it, and he loves the characters and stuff like that. And a lot of like the weird little gelflings and the villages and things like that. And that show, and listening to that soundtrack. Oh, and when I say her name that we do not speak of, I try not to say it. When I say her name and I say to play that soundtrack, the Age of Resistance soundtrack, it's absolutely awesome. So I'll listen to that. I love anything like, Henson, like Jim Henson, like the Dark Crystal, the Labyrinth, and, Dance Magic Dance. I love all those things. You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Hoodoo, you do. Do what? Remind me of the Babe. I can't wait till the cult shits on this company. I can't wait till the cult shits on this business. Oh, seriously. I mean, unless they don't say a word because of the toxic positivity, except they might say something in one of their online group therapy sessions. I mean, live streams. Do I mean live streams? I've never had online group therapy. I've had like online group readings. I've had online group tarot. I've had online group mediumship, but I've never had online group therapy. What is that like? What is that like for you to sit there and exonerate yourselves on your live stream? It's something. Oh. Bitching in the hen house. That's like stays on the internet for people to see, right? Oh, I want to wave to my haters. See you next Tuesday. What's up? Let me say it this way. Let me say it. And I'm going to put it in a mafia way, because I know you've been called the mafia, and this is the way that you could probably understand it. If you are a misogynist, and you're an open misogynist, I will let you know there is a target on your back. And a few of you are open misogynists. And again, I'm fucking calling it out. There are people down in some pretty warm states that are real fucking misogynists. And I will tell you, y'all, that there are a few like open fucking misogynists about females starting a business. And I'll tell you, it's more fear, like I say. I think it's fear of what could happen. Most small batch companies don't really give a fuck, and they don't say things, and they don't give a fuck, and they don't see it as competition. They're just like, oh, another small batch company opening, cool. And they send you a DM and they congratulate you, or they Facebook call you, or they Instagram call you. You know how many chats I've had on the phone this week with business owners and stuff, and they're like, oh, congratulations, what are you doing? Oh, congratulations. And just nice, down-to-earth folks, you know what I mean? And people with nothing to hide, people that are like totally transparent. That's cool in my book. I'm not going to name any businesses. You know why? Because you'll fucking, you know what? You'll fucking shadow ban them as you do. So I try not to do that. Now, speaking of fear, I'll tell you, I have a weird fear, and it's a fear of spiders. If I don't like them, I'll try to catch them in a cup and get them outside because I don't want to hurt them, as I know they're good for the environment and stuff like that, but goddamn, I fucking hate spiders. And the other night, I was sitting there putting my eldest to bed, and we're laying there, and he was like, sometimes he wants a scary story before bed, and I'm just like, I'm not telling you a scary story because that will scare you and you won't be able to sleep. It's just something a parent does for their child. You don't tell them a scary story right before bed. So I'm not telling him a scary story before bed. So he says, can you tell me a funny story? And he says, number one, can I tell you something first, Mom? And I said, sure, buddy, tell me something first. And he says, calm as a cucumber. There's a spider on your pillow, and it's right above your head, and it's about to crawl into your ear. Oh, he knows my fear of spiders, but I don't think he wanted me to freak the fuck out. Oh my fucking God. I got up faster than you can say Jiminy fucking Cricket. Oh my God. I shooed that spider off me. I got it off. I got it away. I got it out. I got it out of the way. I think Rob thought he thought there was a mouse in the room. He's like, what happened after you put, the little one to bed? And he's like, did a mouse get in the house? I'm like, how would a mouse get in the house? Like, if it was a mouse, I'd be losing my bananas trying to like catch it and put it in a box to put it outside or whatever. Like, I caught a bird. It ran into our window and I put it in a box and I nursed it for like hours till it was like okay and not stunned anymore, and could have like put a box of feed out for it so it could fly away, and it flew away, which was really awesome. I'm really weird when it comes to animals and saving them. It's like Gothic Snow White around here. What can I say? I'm into that. But like, I'll tell you, my son now says that I scream like a little girl. And I was like, dude, I have a news flash for you. Because sometimes I'll be like, dude. He's like, yeah, dude. Sometimes we call each other dude. And I'll be like, I am like a little girl. I mean, in stature, in mouth, I am not a little girl. Everybody knows that I've got the biggest fucking mouth. Nobody knows, like, no one's going to shut me up. It's not going to fucking happen. I mean, you can try to shut me up. You can try to shut me down, but that'll never fucking happen. That's about it. Me being small in stature is just where it ends. I'm saying the mom, and when my son was talking about like mom stuff, Mom, you scream like a girl, and I thought about like being like a girl and then screaming, and then I thought about women and their place in culture and things like that, and how in many cultures, in a lot of cultures, most cultures, women are revered, and people that identify as women and humans that identify as women are revered in the culture as the hunters, the warriors, the huntress, the warriors, the people that, go out and they get the food, they have the strength. We birth the babies. Has anyone out there anyone out there want to talk about birthing a baby? Oh my God. Women are the priestess. They're the queens. They're, you know what I mean? The queen overthrows a king. In most world cultures, women are revered. what the fuck is going on, North America? Because seriously, in most cultures that are not like North American based, women are super revered. But even in things like Catholicism and things like that, like the Virgin Mary is very revered. There are certain female saints that are very revered. I mean, there are a lot of men in the Bible and stuff as well, but there are a lot of powerful women as well when it comes to like religion and stuff like that. So you can't shit on or hate on anything. You know what I mean? Like I saw earlier this week people, on their social media and things like that, apologizing for their faith and apologizing for things and apologizing for if their life and apologizing for things on their Instagrams for being real. You know what I mean? And if being real offends you, oh goddamn, if being real offends you, get the fuck off my Instagram, because guess what? We cry here. We don't jack up the Xanax prescription and put on the fucking toxic positivity for the fake family. We let you know exactly what's going on. If there's shit going down, you're gonna fucking know about it, because I'll let you know. I've cried on this podcast right now. And I'll tell you, I don't know. With the way that women are being represented in culture and the way that I see things, I even see female companies people come for them. I've gotten DMs from female companies or companies that identify as female or can identify as female or they, so they fit under the umbrella, kind of under the inclusive sort of companies. And they've messaged me saying, people have come for them. And it's the same fucking people, and it's disgusting. Why is there still so much dick swinging going on when it's not even a gender thing anymore? I don't know, maybe it is for you, but like, what year are we in? It's like 2022. It's not a fucking gender thing anymore. It's not boys versus girls. Holy crap. If you think it's boys versus girls, like, you got major problems. And I'll tell you, I don't know, just like rock and roll and playing music, I don't know how your private parts and what you got going on and swinging down there has anything going on like with what's going on with your company or your life or how well and how successful you can be. How does that have to do with your gender or what private parts you have? Just because you don't have a beard on your face doesn't mean you can't have a beard company. Just because you don't have a vagina doesn't mean you can't be a man running a company that sells, tampons or something. I'll tell you, these guys are mad. They have got their tampon in sideways this week. I'll tell you, that tampon is in all the way sideways. Did you guys get your dander up? Did you get your dander up? Did you put your knickers in a twist? I know your panties are in a bunch. And it's funny. It's amazing to see. But you know what? It's just... It's typical and it's expected. It's absolutely expected. It's funny. But like I say, what do I have to lose? Absolutely nothing. What do I have to lose? My virginity? That was gone at 34. Like I say, no, it was gone at 34. I'm not going to lie. Why will I say my virginity was gone at 34? I will stick by this. Yeah, I would say my virginity was gone at 34. Because Carrie Fisher said that, I think it was Carrie Fisher, that you don't actually lose your virginity until you have good sex, like for the first time. So in that case, I lost my virginity at 34. But like, at least I had good sex. Like, what can I say? I'm having good sex, whatever. It's, not making me blush. But like I say, like, nobody wants to lose their virginity. I'm not going to teach the art of virginity to girls and I don't think the art of virginity, even like to anyone, to be taught as, some limp dick, small dick kid in the back of a, car that's going to last 30 seconds and it's probably going to hurt and it's not going to be memorable and it's not going to be fun. It's probably not going to be the love of your life. It's not going to be fun. Like, it's going to be great googly moogly. It's not going to be good. When you lose your virginity, it should be, I hope it's with someone you love. You know what I mean? So I've been doing a lot. I'm trying to shake it by the lav mic. I've been doing a lot with these oils here. I'm doing the hair oils and stuff like that. I've been doing to a lot of people that have split ends and dye their hair a lot. If you dye your hair a lot, we're going to need to talk. If it's your beard, we're going to need to talk also. I've talked to a few bearded gentlemen, and I will say absolutely. spirited gentleman, that because you've been absolute gentleman and absolutely polite and absolutely lovely to me. I'm spinning like it is. You will only get the truth with me, and I'll tell you, the truth will set you free. It's the only thing that will set you free. Like every snowman and showman. I thought about that on Elvis, and like I say, it's true. Every showman does need a good snowman. It reminds me of, people putting money behind things and really backing things and working things to death and just doing it and exhausting things till they can't squeeze the life out of it anymore. They got to be really careful with those things. Like I said earlier, don't put up too many walls, because I say that encourages that lack of fluidity and that lack of change. I got more episodes. I got more episodes of Heavy Metal Hippie Kitchen coming down the pipe for you. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. I got a couple more recipes, actually. I think 2 more episodes coming down the pipe for you to see. That'll be on my YouTube channel as well. I think you liked the first one. There's a lot of views on it, so I hope you liked it. Leave me a comment or sub or whatever you want to do. If you like it, drop me a comment. If you don't, drop me a comment. I want to know what you think of happy, like of like if you're happy or if you're sad. Like, I want to know about your happiness level with Heavy Metal Hippie Kitchen. I love cooking with you. I love bringing you into my house and cooking with you in my kitchen. I think it's fun. I mean, I could rent a commercial space and do it like there and film it and have it filmed there. But I like the intimacy of doing it in my house. If you think I should do it in a commercial space, like, like I do, with like the oils and all that thing, like if you think I should rent it like a warehouse, or you think I should get a spot like an office, let me know. But I like bringing you into my house and cooking with you in my kitchen, and I like that intimacy, and I like being with you. I think it's going to be great. The Patreon will be up around the same time as the company launches, so you can get you can get some recipes. Man, you might even be able to get oils on the Patreon. Maybe only limited oils, like limited run oils on the Patreon. So the paper doll oil is going to be fucking awesome. You're going to look at me in that paper dress and you're going to lose your mind. So even if it's for nostalgia, you'll get the paper doll oil. There's a fun picture with that one. And the Twin Peaks oil is coming. Oh my God, you're going to lose your mind. If you like Twin Peaks, it doesn't smell like owls or anything. Don't worry, but it's going to be a weird one like David Lynch. I'll tell you, it's going to be out. All that stuff will be out at the same time when the company launches. After my much needed vacation, I am telling you, I'm so excited to go so far north. Again, it's been the northiest I've been in a little while. It's pretty north. It's a lot of hours away from here, but there's a beautiful lake where it's going to be hanging out, and there's a lot of paddle boating. We got our PFDs. You don't go out on a boat unless you have your personal flotation device on. Be smart when you're fishing and you're boating, and water safety is super important. I'm serious. I'm always eager for some Seeger. When Bob Seeger, he has a cottage up in the Muskokas, and he'll always tell you, if you run into him on his boat, I'm serious. He will put a fucking PFD on your ass if you don't have one on your boat. Never happened to me. I'm always wearing a life jacket. I'll tell you that much. That much. So I'll tell you, vacation's going to be great. I'm excited. School's coming up. That's wonderful. I know school's already started for some of y'all. It's not started for us yet. It's maybe 10 days or so. And then school's out. No, it's not in. School's in. School's not out for summer. Summer's over and school's in. Forever. Well, till summer, I guess. School's going to be in for a while. But school's good. It's good. There's structure. It's a good thing. School's good, like I say. So until then, and until next week, I hope that you're going to have a great week. I don't know what this week holds for you. This week holds for me very busyness. There's a lot of product photography going on this week and things like that. So the site will be up for you to see soon and things like that. And I'm not going to do any pre-orders or anything like that. I'm just going to put it live and boop-a-doop and see what happens. Every week where you can find me on the socials. You can find me on the gram. I'm a slave to the gram. I love Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at 21st Century Rocker Mom. You can find me on TikTok at the same 21st Century Rocker Mom. That obviously links up to my YouTube channel, which is Tanya Candler Channel. If you haven't subscribed already, I suggest maybe that you do that. Poke, I'm poking you in the right direction to just hit the subscribe button, and it'll come to you every week. You'll see my ugly little face all over your camera, hit the subscribe button. You stream, wherever you choose, wherever you stream. You can stream where you stream. Wherever it's free to you, just stream. And then, finally, if you really want to see how bitchy I truly am, you can go on my Twitter. It's just at Tanya Candler. I'm usually bitching and complaining on there. It's always good. I think I'm going to go have me a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich. I'm serious. I think Tanya has now left the building. I hope that you guys have a good week. I hope that all is well with y'all. I hope that all is good. And until next week, I hope it's a good one. I love you. Like I say, Tanya has left the building.